Hey, I'm coming today with new cards and with new questions. Um, on this channel, I basically want to share the way I operate in this world and I navigate the reality because I think that it could be interesting for some people, and I think it's useful to see different approaches and just share the alternative ways of seeing possibilities, seeing how to be in this world. It's hard. I have very much of a difficulty to explain myself lately, especially. Normally, I'm quite good at it. Or maybe quite good at explaining things that are understandable for others. But in general, there is also a very big part of my life which is not translating into languages that we know. So even though I speak Polish, English, and Spanish, each of them very badly, but still I do. And I can communicate, which is enough for me. I still have a lot of languages, many languages that they work differently. Like I communicate through the images, I communicate through colors, I communicate through touch a lot. And I also communicate through movement. So for me, it's really important, the body language, the facial expressions. Like we obviously know that because of many researches made on this topic, that body language is 80% of our communication, or at least that was the data when I was studying and understanding this part of existence, communication. And I think that for many years I was absolutely sure that if I will master languages, that will be the success recipe to be understood, but it's not true. And I had the experience to learn about that. Like I had many experiences to learn about this, that languages or whatever languages are is not enough to communicate clearly in this world. And I tried to find out what was before. And I think that this is the idea for me in general. Like I am always trying to find out what was before and why it doesn't work this way right now. So as a teacher, as an educator that works in many systems and in many alternative models of education, I came to many conclusions, and those conclusions start within the point that we have it all wrong. The idea of education, but also like our reality. Like we focus so much about being precise and really detailed in our communication, but only in the words, in the spoken or in the written language. We want precision, we want to be always understood, we don't want to explain ourselves, we don't want the questions to be asked, we want to just say what we have to say, and we want everyone to understand it. We kind of got a little bit lazy, and we assume that if we understand something, others should too. And this was never the case. Like language is such an evolving format of expression, and it's just a form of trying to pass what is happening with my life, in me, within me, and from my perception, what I see, and trying to show it to others so that they can share it with us, this experience. That's the only goal of communication, so that we can collaborate, or we can feel together, we can relate. Like this is the language. But there is so many more forms of that. It's like, I don't understand it, why we focus so much on the language itself, like English, Polish, whatever. Because we know that movement is explanatory. Like when we see people dancing, trying to tell a story, we understand this story. It's really, how to say it? It's something really subconscious to see a particular movement expressing particular emotion or a state. And the more you live your life, the more you experience, the more you understand the experiences of others. So yeah, I wanted to talk about that as the introduction for this video, because I think that focusing on the languages is something that blocks us a lot from really understanding ourselves and really understanding others. And I think that I also learned these lessons a lot through traveling around the world and being in the countries where I didn't understand the spoken language, and when still I needed to communicate and I needed to overcome my boundaries and my limitations, because apparently communication that I experienced in many countries was absolutely not connected to the spoken or written language. So that's why I have these methods of mine that I know that I can expect different messages from different formats of expression. So that's why, as I said in the last video, I use colors, I use symbols, I use images to find out and understand what's in me and what needs to be heard, what needs to be done, what are my needs, what is happening right now. So I talk about that. Yesterday, because I'm struggling lately in my projects and I do not know very well from which part of the project to continue to develop more, to be more precise about it, and how to proceed, because my projects, which is sensitivism, require a lot of attention and a lot of actions from very different fields of competences and knowledge. So sometimes I'm creating theories and I'm writing down what do I think about this world. Like for example, when I try to explain things about languages and communication, so I'm trying to write it down and explain it in the really easy manner so that everyone can detach themselves a little bit from their languages and to understand the context of communication. So that's part of my job. Then another part of my job and of sensitivism is being active on the social media, which it's a big deal for me, and I'm learning, and it's going fine. It's not going great, but it's going fine. But at the same point, I'm having some issues because I don't know which post should be next one, how to plan it, how to organize it. There is like lots of layers. The same, I don't know what to do about my books, because there is so many of the ideas right now and so much work done already that it feels overwhelming. Like when I'm sending 3 books, which 2 of them are 2 versions, like very long version and short version of one, and then another book, and one of them is dedicated for children, another one is dedicated for teachers. When I'm sending that and explaining how big this project is, it's overwhelming. So I'm trying to find the best way to present it to others so that others want to collaborate with me on it. And this is not easy. So when I'm being in this kind of moment of my life when I'm saying like nothing is working and I don't know what to do now, I'm trying to figure out by my ways. So yesterday I wrote, what do I need to understand, or what needs to happen for me to record and publish one of the materials that I'm working on. It's a video, a reel, in which I would like to explain 33 lessons that I've learned in my life just before I turned 33. And I was very inspired by the video made by a guy called Darren on Instagram. I'm absolutely in love with his expression and his vision and creativity. So I really wanted to do my own video like that. And I don't know what to do to actually do it, because it's obvious, like, okay, you need to record it, then you need to edit it, and then you need to publish. But for some reason, those steps are not enough for me to tell me how to proceed. So I picked cards, and I want to show very fastly, I hope, what I've learned. So I ask, can you show me step by step what I need to do? And when I write this question, can you show me? I'm asking myself, I'm asking my subconscious, my intuition, my unacknowledged intelligence, let's say, or wisdom. I'm asking myself to help me to see images and to take out a message that is there, because it's my knowledge, it's my ideas, it's my understanding of the world. It's just that it needs to find a way to keep an order or to have some kind of visualization of it. First card is about first step, which means that I need to show how to see beyond. This is a card in which you can see that stars are replaced by letters, and I see it this way. There is a world of knowledge, world of wisdom, but we focus only on parts of it. Like, we focus so much on trying to find out what the one book, one newspaper, one author is trying to say, that we don't see it all. We don't see the beauty of the context of this knowledge. And I think that this is something I would really like to focus my work on. This card is really absolutely beautiful and absolutely explanatory for me. So I wrote that this one is about teaching order and helping to see with clarity the order that in which we exist in. I wrote myself that I need to remind others about the foundations, the rhythms of the life. And the rhythms are because of these waves that are dividing the leaf. And then the coolest thing that I saw is like, this is the drop of water and an apple. So for me, it means those things. It's not only about nutrition and hydration, but it's also about moon and sun, which are the seasons and rhythms of the world. So yeah, I'm teaching all about that. So this card was very beautiful for me. Then there is this card. I was always wondering, how can I record those videos? Like, if I talk to the camera, or is there someone talking to me? Is there someone asking me questions? Because that always works better. And this card was really lovely for me to see, because that's what I do lately with my boyfriend. When we go for a coffee after our lunch break, and we do it almost every day. Sometimes I'm asking him to record our conversations, because I really do think that they are very nice and worth sharing. I think I will try to model a little bit the bond building, the relationship building, and the types of conversations that we have. I feel very comfortable with him, and I feel very comfortable to tell him all of my stories and all of my share my wisdom or my knowledge, and it just looks differently when I talk to him and when we are recording that. Another card. Express yourself freely. Let the energy flow within you and share the beauty. Stay in the moment. Isn't that beautiful that she has a red head and that I'm the dancer lately? I think it's beautiful. Then we have this one, and I love it so much. I was so happy about receiving this card and seeing this image. It's all about it's all about bringing light, the light, hope, knowledge, and tools to those who are drowning, to those who are underwater. It's also reminding me about peace and about freedom. And yeah, there is the light coming. And even though there is storm, this hand is very stable, and this hand is very strong, and it feels like it knows the direction. So I was feeling very happy to choose that. And this is something very beautiful, because this card came to me 3 times already in the last 3 days. And I know that being vulnerable in the spotlight is my way of achieving my goals. One of the last ones was to remind me about something, because I have a very strong fear connected to this to my work in general. Like, I am very, very, very changeable, and I love changes. I am excited about them. So therefore, it's very hard for me to stick to one task or to decide that this is what I'm going to do forever from now on. I'm not doing these kind of things. And it terrifies me, it petrifies me. I don't like to sign any contracts. I don't like to commit to anything because I know how free I feel when I'm just deciding every day how I want to act and from which motivation I want to act today. So this one reminds me that I can stop and I can anchor myself to a particular moment, particular project. But then it's my decision that I can take it up, pull it up, and keep going. So I guess that was the answer for my fear arising. Like, okay, but if I will do all of those things and if I will be committing so much and being so dedicated, I will just force myself to be stuck in one action and in one project, and maybe I don't want that. So this helped me a lot. And then there were two cards that they came up and I was like, but that's totally not the topic, and that's totally nothing in common with my story right now. And the more I looked, because I almost just put it away from the pile and I was like, no, that doesn't speak to me. But then I looked more and I realized that this is my why. This is exactly why I do what I do. I feel that the system that we live in is oppressive. I feel that the systems that we are studying in and we are supposed to grow, we are not growing, we are stopped. And we are just petrified because of that. And our lives makes us scared because of that. And I felt for many years like this chicken here, and that it was chicken. It was so scared, and observing all of this, seeing from up what is happening and how it is going on and where are we going and where it leads, and still not being able to do anything. So this is my why. I want to be able to do something about it. And this one reminded me about my model, which is the idea of actualized needs, actualized model of Maslow, and actualized taxonomy of Bloom, and so many other theories that I actualized, and I try to build anew, adequate to our systems and reality right now. So those eggs, they represent for me the colors of my model, because those are all of the colors that they appear in my model. So that's how I communicated with myself yesterday, to find out if I already have an idea and a structure how I want to do things. Because when we are overwhelmed and when we act from the logical part of us, we tend to give up because of the imposter syndrome, or we give up because of the inner critic or fears that arise. And when I communicate with myself through the images, I don't hear those thoughts. I just hear answers, and I hear sometimes the fears, but I hear how to solve them and how to answer to them. So I think that's very important, and it's a very good strategy for me to stay in contact and know what are my next steps, because of my own motivation and because of my own wants and needs, and not because the world is pushing me to act on and to do things, and because we are all doomed if we are not acting every day and achieving every day. So yeah, this is everything for today, and I hope it was interesting. It was 20 minutes, which is a lot, and I hope that next time I will do it shorter. Bye bye.